Welcome to the Morning Skate, episode 309. You got your host, Ked, joined by my co-host, Brownie, and the legends in town, Nick Carpenito. What's going on, buddy?
How are you, fellas?
I think we're doing pretty good. Can you tell by my voice that I got a new mic? Can you tell?
It sounds crystal clear. I thought you were going to be a little bit sprightly because of what happened with the TD Garden Twitter account today.
Oh yeah, I've already kind of went at it with myself earlier. Yeah, TD Garden, nice little retweet. Loved seeing that. Brownie got us on the map because of last week's podcast. Brownie, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we had Kelly Dyer Hayes, a multiple Hall of Famer twice. She's in Northeastern. She's in the
two-time
Acton Boxborough Hall of Fame, and I forget the other school. But yeah, she was awesome. She's a pioneer of the women's game. I mean, not a big deal. She played with Tommy Barrasso back in high school. But she was two-time national champ, 4-time Beanpot winner, 2-time MVP, 2-year captain. She's just a very accomplished individual, a very nice person, and she was kind enough to sit down, and you guys should go check it out because her goal is to fill the TD Garden for the women's Beanpot on January 23rd, and we're going to do everything we can to help. We also have discounted ticket link available. It's in our bio, and we will be doing giveaways as we get closer on live podcasts. And to Keywater, I kept quiet during the ad read because I don't have any gear, so you might want to rectify that if you want your boy chiming in.
That was I think that was probably the best ad read I've ever done. I felt pretty good about it. It was pretty
How much better it would be if I was doing it with you, see? So.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's made with real fruit, zero added sugar, built to crush hydration. They have 3 flavors right now. They have key lime. Oh, yeah, that's what that was. I thought you were
I was going like this.
Being an idiot. Here it is, right
there.
Bang on the bottom of the screen.
It's gone now.
3 flavors.
It's gone.
Key lime. Well, it went away?
Yeah, I don't know what you did.
Technical difficulties.
There you go.
Now I think we're good. Now we're good. All right, 3 flavors. They have key lime, blood orange cherry, and pineapple passion fruit. And again, they're available on Amazon, keysparklingwater.com. Promo code TMS24. That'll save you 20%. But yeah, the boys are back. Feels good. Kind of want to get into it right now. I bought a planner for the new year. And Brownie's heard about this probably how many times?
I stopped counting it, I think 32.
Well, at 32 times, it's still less the amount of times you mentioned Bergeron in the first 5 minutes of a fucking
Who
podcast.
mentioned him today? That was you.
But we have, I think we're up to 7 scheduled podcasts in the month of January, which is pretty good. If you're local to Saratoga, we're going to have some Rangers watch parties coming up. So make sure that you have a head on a swivel at probably, in my opinion, the best bar in Saratoga. So things are going really good. Our numbers are going up. We're reaching out to businesses. We got Key Sparkling Water. Things are buzzing. And we have Coach Nick Carpenito on. This is going to be fucking sick, dude. So,
could we arrange it that I could bring Coach Carp with me for a live podcast at that bar?
I would love to do that, first off.
Carp,
and then second,
go for a ride to Saratoga?
Might as well, I guess.
It'd be awesome. You guys come here, and then Free Agent Frenzy, come back. We'll head over to the track. Maybe. Who knows? Could be kind of fun. What was I going to say? It was something kind of important. It was like, have we figured out what game I'm going to yet?
Yeah, Beanpot.
I can't Beanpot. I gave Brownie 3 dates. I didn't know if
I think it should be the late Maine one that we were talking about in February.
I like
you got that, but you can also go to the first round of the Beanpot. It's still going to be a good atmosphere. Which one's Katie Noel's birthday? Is it the championship round?
The first one. But that'll be at Harvard. He wants to go to Matthews.
Oh.
And Carp, let me check my planner, dude. I have a lot of things going on right now. Very busy, man. But I want to make sure I get that dialed in.
Ked's made it to 1985 because he's got a handwritten planner finally.
I want to know if that planner is still in play in April.
Yeah,
that's the key. You can go to the gym the first couple of weeks of the new year.
Hey, that's the key.
Is the 3rd and 4th.
That's the key. Sparkling water. That's the key. That's the key sparkling water of the week, dude.
So I think he's gonna come to the main game in February. That's at Matthews. We're gonna try to organize a live podcast from the lobby, and we'll get there before. We'll talk. We'll go in between periods, back and talk. And then after the game, we can have people come by. Delaney might have bit off more than she could chew when she said that we could do this, and also was like, "Yeah, we can get you in the mascot uniform, Ked." So we'll see what happens.
So Delaney's conservative. You're probably getting that and more.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
excellent. Don't blow up her spot. I mean, she might want to target.
Oh, I wasn't. I was saying she's smart.
She is very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart, very nice. We're very thankful for Delaney and all she does for us.
Yeah, she's awesome. That special guest, Delaney 300th podcast.
That's right. That's right.
Let's just kind of got into. We have a lot of hockey to talk
Yeah, we
about.
had a lot.
Mea
We got a
culpas,
lot.
let's hammer the music.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
All right. So the person we couldn't think of, the head coach of Minnesota Wild is John Hines. I mean, that was pretty bad.
That's like the most forgettable coach in the NHL, so that makes sense.
All right, fair.
Yep.
The Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez movie that I couldn't think of was called Men at Work. It's from 1990 with a Rotten Tomato score of 32%. Is
Okay,
that good? 32%?
That's the thing. Is Rotten Tomatoes like legit? Because I feel like
I have no idea. I never pay attention to it. It just was there when I looked it up.
Okay.
The guy who hit Biden's motorcade having a tough day was 46-year-old James Cooper of Wilmington, Delaware. He not only hit it, but he hit a park van and then tried to flee the scene through a closed-off intersection and road. Like, they close off the road, like, well around all the president's motorcades, and this numbnuts hit a parked car and then tried to flee. I mean, he's lucky he didn't get shot.
Yep, he found the scene. He found some area. Yep.
So this is a mea culpa on a mea culpa. You remember when I talked about Rob Ray kissing his stick prior to scoring that goal?
Yes.
It was actually Brad May who deked Ray Bork and Andy Moog, which is not too shabby, to score the goal in Game 4, and that led to Rick Jenneret's famous Mayday call. So that was a bad miss on my part.
Ray Bork. Yep. Growing up, he looked up to Adam Fox, modeled his game after him. Right.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I mean, that was a terrible miss.
Yeah, well, hey, Brad May and Rob Ray, it was always confusing back then.
Ray and May, I'm okay.
I know. Well, whatever. All right, and then funeral wishes. So my wife was like, "You have to tell Ked this," and I was gonna tell you, but I figured I'd do it on the podcast once I knew Carp was coming on. So we talked about what I went through with the heart and everything. The night before we were going in, I said to Lori, "I'm like, hey, if I don't make it, I have a list of demands." She's like, "Demands?" I'm like, "Wishes." Then it just felt like demands was the right word, but she said it wasn't. Okay. So this is what I was hoping to have happen if I didn't make it. I wanted G Love to play the funeral. Didn't have to. I wanted to be a celebration of life. I didn't want it to be somber. So G Love and Special Sauce. I was hoping they would come down.
Carp, do you know who that is?
G Love and Special Sauce. Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, yeah.
I was a big jam band guy back in the day.
That's it, buddy.
Yeah.
I wanted Judy Gold, the comedian, to do my eulogy. Okay. I wanted Patrice Bergeron to get up there and say a few words because I thought that would be nice. And I wanted some of my ashes scattered over the reef in Key West. And then the last thing is Coach Carp. I wasn't going to get a patch. There's no way I would be able to get a patch on the Bruins jersey, but a patch on the Huskies jersey would have been kind of nice. So.
Yeah, you can split the difference. See if we can do PWHL Boston. See if you behave yourself tonight.
That'd be sick.
Well,
I'm going to the game tonight with Alistair Poppycock, so that should be fun.
Or they don't even have a name yet. Maybe if you go sooner rather than later, it could be the PWHL Boston Brownies.
That'd be all right. So yeah, so that's it for mea culpas. Not bad.
I heard a lot of words with the funeral wishes, and not one word of those was Ked. So we're gonna move on. And in the news.
I would expect you to teach Riley to skate. How's that?
Okay, I can do that. Well, she won't skate well, but we'll get her a chip pucks class now. Marc-Andre Fleury is 1 win away from tying Patrick Waugh for second all time for wins by goalie at 551. He is one of 4 goalies with 1,000 games played. Marty Brodeur had 1,266. Roberto Luongo 1,044, and Patrick Waugh had 1,029. 26,000 saves. Marty Brodeur 28,928. Luongo 28,409. And again, 550 wins. Brodeur has 691, and Patrick Waugh has 551. Do you guys remember the old hockey brand Coho, like that goalie thing? So they have like a Twitter, and I think they changed it. I think it's called like the Pro Shop now. But they tweeted out this video back when Marc-Andre Fleury was 18 years old in World Junior, and it was like. It was so cool, dude. It was like, and now Chevrolet is going to present the starting goalies of the game. And then they just kind of broke down how Marc-Andre Fleury had like the best stats in the tournament. He's only 18 years old. I love that it's sponsored by Chevrolet. Heavy Chevy.
Actually, I have a red Coho wooden stick somewhere in the basement here, which is cracked, but not all the way through. Yeah. And it was my favorite stick. So I still have it, even though it's cracked. It's somewhere over there. But yeah, so.
Love Coho. And then more with Minnesota. In a recent interview, Brandon Duhaime chirped Marc-Andre Fleury for being 50, and since then, Fleury has hidden various articles of his clothes, leaving the right winger to leave in various states of undress or with other clothing. So far, he's left the rink shirtless and with moon boots. And then Fleury also practiced with the cane instead of his goalie stick in a recent practice. Kind of a cool back and forth. But what do you guys have on Marc-Andre Fleury and his
I think he's great. He's an excellent goal, and he seems like an excellent dude. And I was just going to say, if you're going to get the reputation alone, if you're going to get into like a prank war with anyone, I don't think Marc-Andre Fleury should be in your top 20 because the guy lives for it.
Yeah. And
remember he did the Crosby at the All-Star game. He went into the other locker room and stole all Crosby's gear and wrapped it all up in clear tape.
Yeah, recently, I think the game that they didn't play him against the Penguins, he went and
crazy.
He switched Letang's helmet.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He switched him out with a white helmet instead of a black helmet. They're like, hey, you can't do that. But
what do you? Well, Carp, you're more on a day to day with goalies. You're on the ice every day. What do you think? What's your impression of Fleury?
I mean, I love what he brings to the locker room. That's for sure. He keeps everything light. He reminds me, to be honest, of Phillips quite a bit, just from a demeanor standpoint. Like Phillips she's a really, really, really fun person to be around. Everybody loves being around her. You know, she's not into the prank wars that much. We got a couple other players that we're in the middle of one right now between a couple of kids and
nice.
The coaching staff. They came at us.
They pranked you guys?
Yeah. So they had like
listen, if you wanna drop some names, buddy. Who's involved? Who's doing what? Who's on your hit list? Feel free.
I don't know the full group. I know
there's an investigation going on right now.
What's that?
Investigation going on right now.
No, we already had a mild retaliation, and they knew it was coming because I told them it was coming before Christmas, just to make them think about it. All of Christmas break,
just sweat.
Yeah, so they got one of these like it's like a little box and it makes a cricket noise, and they hid it in our locker room.
Oh yeah.
So we eventually found it, and we figured out two of the players that were involved in it. And I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram. Those little, it's like probably about a square like that big, and it makes a goat screaming sound. You've seen those?
Yeah.
So you put it on I put it on the bottom of actually Eric, our equipment manager, did it while we were on the ice. So they were out of the locker room, but he put it underneath their stall. When they rip the thing off to shut it off, a glitter pack explodes.
No.
Yeah, so that was funny.
That's great.
So now we're waiting. We're waiting. I talked to him. I was like, listen, I know what we're opening ourselves up to. Just remember, whatever the escalation is, it's got to be appropriate. And just know that we make a lot more money than you guys, and we're willing to spend. So just be aware of that moving forward. And
ultimately, we control your ice time.
Yeah. No, I mean, we kept that out of it. We knew it was coming. So
that's great.
But it's always great to have like an atmosphere like that. I think, you want to be serious. Our players, especially, they know when to be serious. I know Fleury definitely does. But you always want to have a fun atmosphere because it can be a grind, especially, midway through the season, towards the end of the regular season.
One of like the original pranks that the Morning Skate had is Hal created an alias. I think it was Tommy from Carolina or something like that. It's back when the Rangers were battling the Hurricanes, and he tweeted at me every day for like, I don't know, a month. And I would text him and be like, this guy's fucking crazy, dude. He's like, yeah, that's wild. Then finally one day he's like, yeah, that's me. So every once in a while he comes back with it. I think he still has the logins, but Zibanejad's wife shared a post on Instagram that showed an ornament in their tree that had a picture of Zibanejad and Chris Kreider embracing after a goal. She captioned the pic with, found my husband's boyfriend in our tree. Cool.
Hey, listen, they seem very happy together, and
they make out pretty much every time they get off the ice. So
I'm not going to yuck someone else's yum.
Okay, yucking yums, dude. Love that. Pittsburgh, we mentioned Chris Letang. So last week versus Islanders, he recorded 5 assists in a single period and became the first NHL defenseman in history to do so. He also became the first Penguin player in history at any position to have 5 assists in a period, and then the first player in NHL history to record 6 assists in under 30 minutes, 19 minutes and 33 seconds. Wayne Gretzky recorded 6 assists in 30 minutes and 17 seconds back in 1980. Pittsburgh won that game 7-0. And to just kind of go along with their back end with an assist on Sidney Crosby's third period goal, Erik Karlsson has become the 8th fastest defenseman in NHL history to record 600 career assists in his 954th career game. So a couple of legends on the blue line there for Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure Brownie's not a fan of either. Brownie's not a big defenseman type.
No, I like Letang. I like Letang's game. He plays solid. He'll play physical. I can't stand Erik Karlsson's.
I mean, Erik Karlsson packs snooze during games, so he's grown on me a little bit. He's got the sleeve tattoos, dude. Hammer of a shot. Both right-handed shots too, right? Letang and Karlsson, pretty sure.
I
I feel good about that.
Don't know.
I feel good about that. But
Possible
yeah,
mea culpa.
no, I wouldn't even write it down. I
I'm
feel
writing
that.
it down.
All right, well. But yeah, a couple legends on the back end there for Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, their season really hasn't gone quite what I think that they thought it was going to go like so far. But like I said, literally ever since this podcast started, if Sidney Crosby's on your team, you got a shot. So I would never count him out.
Fair.
Oh boy, your Boston Bruins, Jacob Lacko.
Yep.
Yeah. And Jeremy Swayman got stuck in an elevator at Kevin Shattenkirk's building when Shattenkirk invited the duo over for Christmas dinner. This is one of my biggest fears.
This is your nightmare. I saw you wrote.
One of them, dude. I would terrified.
Why?
Because I don't like heights, and I'm assuming I'd probably be on like the 9th floor, and I can't see what's really going on. And if that falls, there ain't no way this frame's making it through.
All you have to do when the elevator is about to
tell
land,
me how to survive a 9th floor elevator drop.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how it works.
If Coyote Roadrunner has taught me anything, is that all you have to do?
Our players jam themselves in elevators when we get to hotels. I have to wait. They jam themselves in there, and that's the only thing I can think of. This thing's going to stop because 5-6 years ago they used to jump in the elevator.
Yeah,
I got stuck one time.
So when I was at UMass way back when, I don't know if this is still allowed. In the towers, you could climb out on top of the elevators, and you could hop from one elevator to the other in the 22 floor towers.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's not still allowed.
Well, it wasn't allowed then, but you had access.
If there's any more than 4 people on an elevator, I don't think I get in that elevator.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy on, I don't know if he's Instagram or TikTok, the guy who does the, he used to just make the fart noises and lift his leg like a big guy would do it in public. Well, he's graduated now that he makes the fart noises while maintaining eye contact with somebody. And he did one in an elevator, and oh my God, the other guy was like, what the fuck? And he's just blank face staring. Oh, it was so funny.
That's another fear, to get trapped in an elevator with stinky farts.
It's like Dwight Schrute. You got to establish a pee corner straight away.
I guess, dude. Maybe not a poop corner, dude. Edmonton, maybe. Former goalie Nikolai Hobby-Bulin. Love this guy. Returned to hockey at age 50 when he signed with KHL Torpedo. He had 333 wins, 334 losses, and 97 overtime losses / ties. 907 save percentage, 272 goals against. I thought his numbers were going to be better. In his best year, he went 30, 22, and 11. In his worst year, 10, 32, and 4 with an 890 save percentage and at 3.4 goals against. That's a long
season, that bad one. Do you think wherever he is right now that he was like, oh, if I just had one more game, I'd be 500? You know what I mean? I wonder if that bugs players like that, you know what I mean, at that level. If they're just
that's the classic argument. Is that really 500?
Well, the overtime wins put them above 500. You can make the argument.
I know, but they're not real wins. They're kind of like your 20-24 win. Is it a win?
Huh?
I don't know. I hate when people say head coaches are awesome and they show the record like that. It's like, were they really that awesome? Kind of thing. They did that, I think, with David Quinn. But
you just don't.
Speaking of goalies that kind of didn't have the best season, Jack Campbell has lost a starting job in AHL Bakersfield. 4-6, 888 save percentage. He's on the books for $5 million until 2026-27.
I feel badly because by all accounts, he's a great dude. Everyone talks about what a great guy he is. So I feel badly what he's going through. But the plus side, he's got $5 million for 2 more years, so he's going to be fine.
Yeah, you can't really feel bad for somebody making that much money, right?
It's hard to, for sure.
No. Did you guys see Edmonton? Did you guys see McDavid yesterday?
Yeah, behind the back, no look.
Yeah. What do you get? 5 points? 4 points?
Yeah, I think he factored in every goal, right?
It was unbelievable.
I think it was 2 months ago, he was 53rd in the league in points. A month ago, he was 12th, and now he's 3rd.
He's 3rd.
It's not a battery charger. Getting ready.
Unbelievable.
It's so good.
What he's been doing.
Carp, you mentioned PWHL earlier. All 6 teams face off they're going to face off first 3 games of the new year. New York at Toronto was on the 1st. Montreal, Ottawa was the 2nd, and Minnesota at Boston tonight. Back in November, the PWHL stated their goal was to have most games available on linear television and every game available to stream. And it's slowly coming together with CBC, TSN, and RDS and Sportsnet carrying the games in Canada, with MSG Networks and NESN carrying the games in the U.S. Also, PWHL Toronto sold out every home game for the upcoming season. They instituted a few rules. I saw that a shorthanded goal ends the power play, and points are 3 for regulation win, 2 for an overtime win, or 1 for a shootout. Or a shootout, and 1 for an overtime or shootout loss.
The doesn't a shorthanded goal Oh no, it's not. If you in NCAA, if you score on a delayed penalty, you still get the penalty, right?
Still get the power play. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good rule too. I like that. I don't know if they've instituted that one, but I like the killing the penalty with a shorty. That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah,
I think it's
especially
awesome.
if it's how you build your team. You have a great penalty killers. That's an asset, you know.
Well,
We were
shocking
talking
that the guys from Mass would like that with the Boston Bruins penalty kill being so good. Like that's
I was thinking of the Northeastern penalty kill personally.
Yeah, we also had Chloe Arard for the last 5 years. And
She actually had a bid
queen.
shorthanded. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. No, I love that rule. I think that rule is awesome. And we were talking about it yesterday. I'm curious to see if it's going to alter penalty kill strategies a little bit, see if they can get a little bit more aggressive. But then, on the flip side of it, is that going to make power plays a little bit more conservative? So
yeah.
So how would you attack that as a coach? Would you go like, would you like 3 defensively responsible forwards and 1 like lights out defender for your first PK unit or something like that?
No, I mean, I wouldn't change much, to be honest with you. I think any opportunity we have to score a shorthanded goal, like I want to take it.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, for power play, I would put out 5 forwards if it was the right fit. I want to score. I don't want to kill time.
Yeah.
But I like to be a little bit more aggressive in situations like that. So, but I'm curious to see how these teams or how these coaching staffs kind of react to those rule changes, because it's different, right? So I think that you'll see a lot more defensive zone face-offs that try to spring a forward or something like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know how different. Maybe a little bit more aggressive. But it depends on what personnel you have on your team.
You definitely got to be careful, right? Because at least for the NHL wise, if you're springing that forward and they get caught, your 5 best players are on the ice. And now it's a quick 5-on-3, and we know how good 5-on-3 power plays are in the NHL. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like some teams, just like the Bruins with Marchand and back when you had Bergeron, those teams are just going to be a little bit better than the other teams that might not be. But as a coach, I feel like you can't really change stuff. And like, do you think you have to have conversations with your players where you're like, hey, I know like it might end a power play, but you still have to be defensively responsible? Like, do you think that that's a conversation that happens, or do you think the coach is kind of like, hey, listen, like be defensively responsible, but if you get it, go?
I think those conversations always happen. It's situational too. Like if you're down a goal, sometimes you just got any opportunity you have, anytime you get possession of the puck, like take a risk. Everything's pretty risk reward oriented in hockey, so it really depends on what the situation in the game is at that given time.
Yeah.
Before the tying goal, was it Noel that had a shorthanded breakaway?
Yeah, coming down the right wing.
Yeah.
And talk about momentum shifts. Tell like, let's say you're losing 5-4, you take a dumb penalty, right? But then you end up pulling your goal. You're 5-on-5, you score. Not only are you tying the game, now you're even strength. Like that's a completely different ball game.
Yeah. Yeah, situational.
Before you go ahead, I also like the way they're doing the 3, 2, and 1. I think that makes it a lot cleaner for the standings and a lot easier to follow for a casual fan.
Yeah.
Compared to the NHL.
I think it's more like impactful what happened in the game.
Yeah, for sure. And winning in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Teams will go for it a little bit more.
Yeah, at the last minute, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For their history books, Corinne Schroeder got the first PWHL win in net for New York City. New York City, Ella Shelton got the first goal in PWHL history. New York City, Alex Carpenter, 1-1-2, and NU's own Chloe Ward, 2-2, 2 assists, registered for first multi-point games in league history. And Rebecca Leslie of Toronto got the first penalty of the new league. I saw some clips, dude. They're out there banging bodies, man.
Yeah, it's a lot more physical than the women's college game. And Chloe and Carpenter are still leading the league, tied for scoring going into tonight's game. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, those atmospheres. I don't know if you guys caught actual games, but atmospheres were pretty electric.
The Toronto one was great. The line out the door to get in the rink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the teams has like a goalie hug. You guys are already bringing that over there. Do you see that? They like dap up 3 times and hug each other.
Oh no, I didn't notice that. Yeah, that's cool.
Swayman and Allmark are starting an epidemic.
Yeah,
there's a lot of goalie love out there. A lot more goalie love than there was. But the thing that I was really bummed out about, especially with the Ottawa game, the camera was on the side of like where most of the seats were. So the way that the Ottawa rink is set up, it's like I can't really describe, but the side that the camera's on has like an extra bit of seats, like pretty far up. And I wish that they had the camera on the other side so they could show like how jammed that section was. Because the rink, it was still packed. It was unbelievable.
It's growing pains, right? Like the Toronto game, they were doing interviews and the ambient sound of the rink was overpowering the microphones, and that's different levels and getting adjusted to it. So I'm sure it'll improve every broadcast,
I was telling Brownie before the podcast started, like, this is the most legit I think it's looked. Like sometimes, like in the past, it was kind of like, oh, you're playing a game in like the second rink in Saratoga, and like at least 3 of those bathrooms are out of service. Like the rink doesn't look nice. Like now it like looks legit. You know what I mean? Like at least the ones in Canada that I was looking at look fucking legit.
So we're going to the game tonight. My buddy, who everyone on the podcast knows is Alistair Poppycock, he's been to the Tsongas Center. I haven't, and he goes, the concessions are top notch, and I'm like, dude. So tell how my night's gonna be.
This is the perfect rink for this.
That's what everyone's saying. Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
Well, and
where's this rink?
House. That's why.
It's where UMass Lowell plays.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Really nice, like accessible. 10 minutes from my house, which is perfect for me.
Yeah, right. So. Quick little rip.
Mm-hmm.
Leadership groups were starting to be announced. Ottawa, Brianne Jenner as captain, Emily Clark and Ginty Rose as alternate.
Ginty, I think. Yeah.
Blair Turnbull as captain and Jacqueline LaRoche and Renata Fast as alternates. I'm going to butcher all of these. That's for Toronto. Minnesota, Kendall Coyne-Schofield will be captain with Lee Steckline and Kelly Panic as alternates.
Schofield. Pretty good.
Okay. Mika Zandy Hart will be the captain. Alex Carpenter and Ella Shelton were named alternates for New York.
Yep.
Marie-Philippe Poulin will be the captain, and the announcement was made by Cirque du Soleil at a recent show with her in attendance. Laura Stacey and Aaron Ambrose as alternates. And then it has taken, what are we at right now? 20 minutes probably. With Patrice Bergeron making the announcement and handing out the sweaters, the leadership group is Hillary Knight captain and Jamie Lee Rattray and Megan Keller as alternates. I think I got those ones right.
Yeah, pretty good.
You see how he rounded down to 20 minutes, but it's 28.
Yeah, I can't see that.
From
I have 2 things going on right now.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's the anti-Bergeron propaganda.
That's exactly what it is.
Speaking of the anti-Bergeron, go to the next story.
Yeah, Nick Ritchie kind of lost his shit doing the family name proud overseas as he was suspended for 8 games after punching Marcus Nurmi in the head repeatedly while he was on the ice. Fighting in the Finnish league Liga is already not allowed, and Ritchie was deemed the aggressor in the altercation and received a 5-minute major along with a 20-minute misconduct penalty. Ritchie already had a holding and cross-checking penalties in the game. Probably help his team more with the suspension as he has 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points in 10 games played after being let go from his PTO from St. Louis. This was kind of a weird thing. Something had to have happened in the game for somebody to react like that.
Is Nick Ritchie possibly the worst top 10 pick in NHL history?
Top 10?
He was picked 10th overall.
Yeah. I was going to say Hugh Jessman, but I think he was drafted 12.
That was a tough one. That was a tough pick. I mean, Nick Ritchie, I guess he had like that one good year in Anaheim, and then the Bruins brought him in, but
I would love to see how his stats compare to like Alexander Daigs. Apparently, they're coming out with a documentary about him. Did you see that?
About Nick Ritchie?
No, about Alexander Daig. How like he was wheeling like Pamela Anderson. He was like the first overall pick, and he was supposed to be sick, and then just like nothing ever ended up happening. But yeah, Nick Ritchie kind of losing his shit there. He got 8. What is he got? 8 games.
Yeah, he got 8 games for that. Tough
look. I don't know if we updated the doc. I'm just gonna go for it now. Did you see the Ryan Hartman Cole Perfetti thing?
Mm-mm.
So the Jets played the Wild, and Brendan Dillon gave Kirill Kaprizov a couple hard cross checks and ended up hurting him. So at a face-off, Hartman just high-sticked Cole Perfetti directly in the face.
I did see that, yeah.
Perfetti was like, yeah, like he told me he was going to do it, and I'm mic'd up like they have it. And he ended up only getting fined and not even suspended. So my question for you is, Nick Ritchie got 8 games for kind of like mugging somebody, but Ryan Hartman just took his stick and just slashed somebody in the face. He's been suspended, I think, 3 times, fined 6 times, got fined again. Who do you think handled the situation better, the Finnish league or George the Clown Peros?
Well, I know your axe to grind is Peros, but the Finnish league, fighting's not allowed. So it's apples and oranges, but I see what your point is.
I think in the NHL, it's probably not allowed to slash somebody in the face.
No,
and say,
that's what I said. I see what your point is. That was my part of that.
And then to be mic'd up, and then
Yeah.
to have the dude be like, "Hey, he was mic'd up." But I guess there was a deal made when they said that players could wear mics, that whatever said on the ice, they can't use against them in terms of like disciplinary action.
But I think they have to. I think it has to be cleared by the player in order to be released.
I would probably pay $500 to $1,000, like if I really, really saved my money and shit, if I could just see 1 year of everybody mic'd up in the NHL to see what they would say.
Oh, I think you should be able to pick who's mic'd up. Like, you know how like on ESPN Plus you can pick which announcers you want. I'd be like, oh, tonight let me hear
world would
Marchand
burn,
and
The world would burn though, and that's what sucks. Like
Yeah.
people. Do you think hockey culture is bad? Can you imagine if you were able to listen to everything that those guys said throughout the course of an 82 game regular season and then playoffs? Holy shit.
What would be hilarious though would be a coach in over his head and it's just silence and you're like, is this on? Is this Mike?
Yeah, right. Dude,
Hey, is this Dave Quinn feed working? I can't hear it.
Dave Quinn hasn't said anything the last 12 days. Back to the Huberdont. Jonathan Huberdont recorded his first point in December off of a nice feed to Dennis Gilbert. Why is this a Huberdont? Because Nathan MacKinnon has 27 points in the time since Huberdont had his last point on November 30th.
Yeah, Huberdont, he's up against it. It's like he's shoveling against the tide no matter what he does. Unless he goes out and has like 5-point games, no one's going to be happy with him.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there.
Yeah.
Philadelphia head coach John Tortorella became the 8th coach in the history of the NHL to achieve the 1,500 game mark and the first U.S.-born head coach. He also had a win 723 against Vancouver, moving him into sole possession of 10th place on the all-time coaching list. Torts is in his 22nd year of NHL coaching with stops at New York, Tampa, Vancouver, Columbus, and his current stop in Philly for his second tour. The only active NHL coaches with 1,500 games besides Torts are New Jersey Devils' Lindy Ruff and Florida's Paul Maurice. U.S.-born New York Rangers head coach Peter Laviolette has more wins for an American coach with 776 and counting in 1,463 games coached. The Flyers, I put this probably has changed. They were 19-12-5, and they were third in the Metro. Connecting's got 31 points, 17 goals. Travis Sanheim, 21 assists. Garnet Hathaway, 58. Pims, Nick Sealer's leading at plus 14. So I love
letting Garnet Hathaway off the leash in Philly.
This is a Torts friendly podcast. Love this fucking guy. I just love how old school he is, and he's like the only person that I've ever seen that doesn't change with the time, and he still just is effective, which is weird. Like normally you have to, but he just refuses to do that. Like, and you can still see that in his interviews. I'm sure some of the things has probably changed a little bit, but I just love like how he is Torts without a doubt, and you never even have to question it.
I think that there players in the NHL fall into two categories that have played for him. Either I don't think there's a lot of gray. I think you either love him or you hate him.
Yeah,
I don't
either
think
you're tough
I don't
enough
think
to play
players
for
are
him
like,
or you're not.
he's okay, but either guys love him or they hate him. It was great his interview after that game. He's like, I'd rather be in the room with the fellas or something to that effect. He's like, so are we done here? And he just walked away. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Cool. They wanted him to do a speech, and he's like, no. And he turned around and he goes, that was a great fucking game, and then left. Like, that's all he cares about. I love him. Do you like him, Carp?
I love him. I obviously, like, I don't know him personally by any means, but every story I've ever heard of him, the way he is with like the media and stuff is completely different than the way he is, with the players. And they always say that there's nobody that's going to fight for his players more than that guy.
He isn't Taze his dad, right? Is his assistant still?
Yeah. And I mean, I've obviously heard some stuff from her, and she absolutely loves him too. Like, the guy's a big time family man. Not only just within his family, but everybody else's family is number one priority. And then it's hockey, and then
that's cool.
It's everything else, which is awesome. That's the way to do it.
It is, and it's cool because you definitely see like. Every once in a while you see, hockey's a business, and like there's some really shitty stories that come up with like general managers, head coaches and stuff. But it's nice to see that, even though some people say, he's too tough on his players, or whatever, he just really gives a shit, which is nice. So
yeah.
You wonder what would happen if a guy like Torts, right, who's like we said, cares so much for his players and family and doing the right thing. You wonder what would happen if he was like the coach in Chicago, right, for some of their nonsense. Would that nonsense have gone on under Tortorella?
No.
Right? That's the question. And that's
he's unapologetically himself. That's the best. Like, he'd get fired if you did the right thing and be
fine with it.
Yeah.
Torts would have tarred and feathered that dude in the middle of town square.
Yeah.
I would not have wanted to been that video coach.
Yeah.
Washington signed Ethan Bear to a 2-year deal with the Caps. 26-year-old defenseman signed for $2.06 million for the remainder of this year and next. I thought like this was a pretty big deal for somebody who like got scratched a lot, right? Or no?
Oh, I was thinking it the other way. I think that's a sneaky good deal for the Caps.
I feel like wherever he played last, he didn't play that much. Like he was scratched all the time.
He was going through all kinds of personal stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know. $2 million, I guess it's not that much, but for a guy, again, in my opinion, who was scratched all the time, I feel like that's quite the bag for somebody who wasn't like an everyday player.
He was in Carolina, right? Wasn't that his last team?
I think so, yes.
Carolina, it's a whole different defensive core than Washington. Yeah. He's going to get more time, more situational play. I hope he does well. I mean, I don't root for the Capitals as a rule, but I hope he does well.
I think he already got his first point.
Oh, did he? Nice.
In the Pittsburgh game. I saw something. They gave him his first point puck, which I didn't know was a thing. But yeah.
The morning skate difference right there. We didn't know it. Seattle, not everyone loves a Winter Classic merch. A Seattle-based entrepreneur, Paul Kim, filed a suit against the Kraken in the NHL for infringing on his copyright. In 2014, Kim copyrighted the design and logo of the defunct Seattle Metropolitans and made throwback jerseys and merchandise that he sold. When the Kraken entered the league in 2021, the team had a good relationship with him, which soured as the team wanted to use the Metropolitan logo colors design to make jerseys for this year's Winter Classic. As the negotiations went south, Kim accused the team and the league of lowball offers for his licensing rights. Which, how do you accuse somebody of a lowball offer? An offer is an offer. Like, it's in your opinion.
He's making, let's say he's making easy math, right? Let's say he's making $1 million a year off of his throwbacks, and they come in and like, hey, we'll give you $20,000 for the rights. Fuck off.
It's still an offer. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not a good. It's again, you're rooting for the billionaire versus the millionaire.
Yeah, I don't like this guy. And the NHL went ahead with the design.
No, the billionaire is the league.
I don't like this Kim guy, dude. I don't like it. He came up with something. Be thankful that an NHL team's like, hey, we want to use your shit, and here's some money for it.
But that's cool. But they're just bullying him with their
good. He deserves to be bullied. Stuff him in a locker.
God.
I've had enough of this guy.
Oh,
and the NHL went ahead with the design that incorporates a lot of the elements. Hell yeah, they did. Of the logo and uniform, and even the logo, which is virtually identical to what he had trademarked, but it's not identical, but it's virtually identical. I love that. The Winter Classic unis also imitates a trademark big horizontal stripes throughout. I think why I don't like this guy is in terms of Winter Classic jerseys, those Seattle Kraken jerseys were probably my favorite jerseys that I've seen.
But he has the rights. It was his thing.
Well, not anymore. So
no, they're gonna.
Kim.
Oh, I can't wait to do a follow up on this story when he gets fucking paid from the league.
He'll get paid. So what? But now, right now, he's just crying.
And not they're bullying. Oh my God, you're the guy rooting for like Jeff Bezos over there.
No, I don't like this. Be like I would be pumped that an NHL team would be doing this for me.
You know what? Someday the NHL is going to start the morning skate every day, and they're going to come to you and be like, "We'll give you $100," and you're going to be like, "Oh, thank you."
I'll frame it, dude. I'll be like, "Hell yeah, dude."
God.
Hell yeah! As long as my voice is in the intro, I'm down. More Winter Classic. Seattle goalie Joey Decard. Registered the first shutout in Winter Classic history, making 35 saves. He played out of his mind. He robbed Jack Eichel late in the game. I thought that their jerseys look so clean. I thought. Did you guys see Pietrangelo, by the way? Just fucking two-hand Tanev. Nothing came of that.
Yeah.
It's the same play that he did against Draisaitl. This league is player safety is an absolute fucking joke. It's insane.
Whose entry outfits did you like better? Seattle came as the Fisherman, and Vegas came as the Elvises.
I don't know, man. Probably the Fisherman, I guess.
Oh, I like the Elvis. I thought that was hilarious. And then they lost, so you'll never see it again. But I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
It's all about humor for me. If it's funny, I'm all for it.
I saw that they were like throwing, like the players would walk to the rink and they were like throwing fish.
That's what they do after goals. They instead of giving out a hockey stick, they do like at the end of the game for the 3 stars. They have this like a salmon, like a stuffed animal, like I don't know, 2-3 feet long, and they spin it into the crowd instead of giving out.
Those weren't real fish.
No,
those weren't real.
I thought they were. They weren't
like in the walk-in.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I didn't see the walk-in.
Yeah, those looked pretty real.
They were real.
They were heavy, dude. They were heavy fish, dude.
They looked legit.
That seems like a liability.
If you were the dude throwing, the fish, like, is there a player on the Kraken that you might let go a little bit too early or a little bit too late and maybe hit him inside the head? Is there a player that you do that with or no?
Wait. The players were throwing the fish?
No,
No, the players were walking in.
the rink.
Yeah, they were walking into the
throwing
rink.
the
And there was like 5 feet in between. So as they would walk by, somebody would throw the fish.
So like Pike Street Market, they were throwing it over the heads.
Yeah.
All right, I missed
Sort of,
the whole thing. Gotcha.
Is there a player on the Kraken that you'd be like, oh shit, dude, my bad? I'd have to think about it. I don't really dislike anybody on the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I dislike anyone on the Kraken either. Is
Yeah.
Ryan Donato still there?
Oh, I would smoke Ryan Donato. I don't know if he's on the Kraken though. That's a good call.
Oh, he's in Chicago now, I think.
The poor man's Jimmy VC.
That might be the meanest thing you've ever said.
It's true, dude. Right? 100%.
Oh, that was a twofer right there. You got them both.
Colorado. This was wild. Avs color analyst Mark Rycroft took a sip of what he believed to be water during a recent Colorado game. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a spitter of his broadcast partner, play-by-play Mark Moser. He immediately ripped off his headphones, washes out his mouth, spitting the entire time. Video happened a few weeks ago, but Altitude TV's Vic Lombardo released it as a Christmas gift to the fans. This guy handled it like a fucking champ, dude.
Oh,
like
yeah. That's a
champ.
tough one. That is a tough one.
When I was in college, I was sick. And like, when you're sick, you always kind of like, you wake up in the morning and like, you just need like a drink. You know, those dark Arnold Palmer bottles?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up one morning. I was like, I want to do it. Three big gugs. It was a spitter. I went to the bathroom, got in the shower, threw up for probably a half hour. This was on a Tuesday. I didn't go back to class until the next week. I took a personal week. I needed that for my mental stat. And that was my own spitter. I can't imagine drinking somebody else's spitter. Like that just adds another element to that. And dude, you couldn't even really tell that he did it. What a pro.
Yeah.
Absolute pro. Speaking of pro, Nathan MacKinnon became the first Avs player in history to have a 4-goal game when he torched Ottawa for 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 points, and a 6-1 win. 19 goals, 39 assists, 58 points. I feel like he's like the most underrated superstar in the league. Like, he's good, but it's always McDavid. It's always Matthews. It's always Crosby. McKinnon's never the number one there, ever.
Yeah.
And somebody mentioned, like, dude, if you have a team and like you could pick between, okay, so if you're Colorado and you can have either MacKinnon or McDavid, are you giving up MacKinnon for McDavid?
Yeah.
You are 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a bull, man. He's already won a cup.
Yeah, he's a bull, but you still take McDavid.
It's not saying he's a bad player, but McDavid's.
I'll tell you this: I would take MacKinnon over Matthews.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who, by the way, Matthews is on a pace to score more goals than Ovechkin. Did you see this?
Well, Ovechkin's not going to make it, so.
Oh, my God. How poetic would it be if at the end of Austin Matthews' career, on Patrice Bergeron night in Boston, he scores a goal to break Gretzky's record. And don't you know it? Morning Skate's taken off so big that I got you glass seats for this game. Would that not be unbelievable? Not only glass seats, but we're so big that you dropped the ceremonial puck drop. It'd be incredible.
I dropped the ceremonial puck and sucker Matthews right there, right there on the carpet.
The puck at him. Okay, here's the question. Do you think, gun to your head, is Matthews a Leaf his whole career?
No.
Both of you know? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think he's going to be a desert dog at the end of this contract.
Okay. I think
because
if he doesn't
be able to pay all these guys, and Nylander said he doesn't want to go anywhere. So
someone's going to have to. Nylander's getting $11.25 million a year. He's proved it, dude. Talk about fucking showing up and like playing for that contract, dude.
He shows up in the playoffs where none of the other.
Would you rather have Nylander or Marner?
Nylander.
Yeah, probably right now. If you asked me 2 years ago, I'd probably say Marner.
Yep. The Devils won't be told what they can or can't wear. In a workaround to the NHL ban on players wearing Pride jerseys during warm-ups, the entire roster wore custom jerseys on their walk into the arena. The jerseys were designed by local artist Catherine Kennedy, who reimagined the club crest in an abstract way featuring the colors of the Pride flag. Is this just their logo with Pride colors in it?
It was different. It was her reinterpretation of it. That's pulled straight from the the NHLPA statement.
Press release or whatever.
Yeah.
The players wore them during player arrivals for the annual Pride Night and will auction them off with proceeds going to, oh boy,
Hyacinth, I think.
Sure. New Jersey's largest and first HIV/AIDS service provider. Can I tell you something? Growing up, I would always try to I'm a terrible drawer. Like I'm so bad at drawing stuff. The only thing I can draw is
You
like
mean,
a
you mean you're a
race car.
bad artist?
Yeah, sure. Drawer is probably not the right word.
Not a good talker either. Luckily, this is an audio medium, but keep going.
I can do like a race car, but that's about it. But I would try to do NHL logos, and I had buddies that could like crush the New Jersey Devils logo. I could never draw New Jersey Devils logo correctly. It would always look so fucking bad. If you get a chance this week, try to do one.
Okay.
If you could do a race car, you could do Detroit. It's a wheel.
Yeah, dude. I probably could
the
do
Bruins one's hard. The Bruins one's very hard.
Yeah,
ruler, a protractor. You're good with that.
Well, yeah, but that's math. At that
dude,
point.
I
Really
can't remember the last time I saw a protractor in real life. I don't even know if I remember what they look like. Is a protractor? Is that no? That's a compass. What is a protractor?
Protractor's the one with right like here. You have one? It's like
it's a curved ruler.
No,
it's the half moon like.
Yeah, it's like the thing where you can put it in the middle and hook it up.
I thought that's a compass.
No. Is it a compass?
Oh, it might be. It could be. I have a ruler, but no protractor.
Interesting. Okay.
Continue.
Good on the Devils. Good on the players to do that. Love that. Connor Bedard, Trevor Zegras both hit mission goals on the same night within a few hours of each other. After the game, Bedard said he received a text from Zegras offering the congratulations. This was cool. Zegras was challenged by Anaheim ringside reporter to hit.
Hold on, I have her name.
Gift.
I have her name.
Yeah, we do.
Allison Lozoft was the Anaheim ringside reporter that asked Zegras. I want to make sure I give her credit.
That's crazy. And then he went out and did it.
Yeah. And I will say Zegras's was at maybe not full speed. Maybe not full speed for him, but definitely faster than I could go. But he didn't look like he slowed down much at all.
It was like an inverted mission. It was pretty sweet. Somebody last night did like the Zegras pass over the net, but it just went to somebody on
the other team.
Yeah.
I will say this, both Chicago and Anaheim lost those games.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Bedard, if you're a Blackhawks fan, obviously your year isn't going well, but like you gotta be fucking pumped that this kid's on your team, right?
Oh,
like,
God, yeah.
This is what I thought Lafreniere was gonna be. This is what I thought Capo Caco was gonna be. It's gotta be so cool to actually get one of those.
Yeah, especially to jump in right away, because you always get like the Bruins have that kid Fabian Lysell, who's supposed to be the next big thing, and he can't get top line minutes in Providence. So it's like years and years later, it's rare when someone walks in like a Matthews or a Bedard. These guys come in, McDavid.
Yeah, I mean the Rangers literally have never had one of those in our lifetime. Chris Kreider's like third all time in goals, and like he is not at all a Connor Bedard or a Nathan MacKinnon or a McDavid. It's crazy like how some teams get those players. Yeah, but I'm talking forwards.
Oh.
And thank you for the shout out. You are right. Adam Fox is one of those.
Adam Fox walked in and played.
But I'm talking actually what's really funny, I posted a Rangers blog the other day. And I scrolled to the bottom, and we had written a blog back when the Rangers got Adam Fox. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was funny, like reading it, seeing like his breakdown of everything. But Toronto, Ilya Samsonov's on waivers. He holds a lowly .862 save percentage, second worst among NHL regulars this season. He surrendered 3 goals or more in 10 of his 15 appearances. So in 2022-23, they had Samsonov, Murray, and Wall. 21-22, they had Campbell, Mrazek. And then before that, they had Anderson. And then before that, they had Bernier. At what point are the Maple Leafs going to go out and get a fucking goalie? That's actually
almost as if I can't exactly put my finger on it, but it's almost as if they don't manage their assets the right way, and they put their money in the wrong spot.
It's wild.
It's
I haven't looked at Edmonton, but I'm sure Edmonton's is exactly the same as this.
Yeah, probably. It's crazy.
Like honestly, like if you look at strictly Canada, right? The only Canadian team that's had good goaltending over the last would be Winnipeg.
Yeah, the Jets. Yeah.
Ottawa, Craig Anderson, love them, but he's not a fucking brand name goalie. Toronto, Edmonton, no. Calgary, Kiprusoff, back when I was like 12.
Montreal had.
Carey Price, good call.
Price.
They did have Carey Price,
but they didn't have anything else.
No, which is wild. It's
crazy though. I don't understand. Like everybody talks about copycat league, right? The NFL, the NHL. Everybody sees what works for someone else, and they do it. It's amazing to me how more teams haven't done what like the Penguins did or the Bruins did. Like if we all take less, we all get more. You know what I mean? And it's got to be selfishness on the part of the players that are the leadership group.
Yeah, it's strange. It's very, very, very fucking strange. I don't know. The league average save percentage is down to 903, and Connor Hellebuck has gone below 920 in a game just twice in the past 6 weeks. Just a shout out to your boy Brownie.
Yeah, you love that guy.
World Juniors. I just want to kind of go over this really quick. Peter Forsberg, unbeatable record from the 93 World Juniors. He had 31 points in 7 games. Can you imagine that being a draft pick and you watch World Juniors and this dude just putting up how many points is that a game? 4 point something points a game. Holy
4
fuck.
point something, yeah.
World Hockey Report was talking about how that Macklin Celebrini kid did not play a ton, at least in the first couple games. He ended up kind of playing a little bit more as the tournament went on. Definitely seemed to be Canada's player. But as Bob McKenzie said, they had a ton of big dogs that played for the junior teams, but not one of the big dogs kind of went through and ended up scoring that goal that they needed. Canada,
that last goal, I felt bad for the Canadian goalie. I got to be honest. That was a
what
tough
do you do?
one.
There's
that was
nothing you
one
can
to
do.
lose it on, though.
He was getting torched too, like online and not in the media as much, but they were getting destroyed.
We talked before we started recording. Everybody's so calm and rational online. So.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy like that. NHL players I'm kind of okay with because like they're supposed to be adults, but these kids are like 17 years old.
17,
like, do you think
18,
that they're
19.
going out there being like, hey, let's lose to the Czechs? This is gonna be sick.
It's unbelievable.
It's fucking crazy. It's wild. US beat Latvia. Keep the change. Gabe Perreault, we'll talk about him in a little bit. He's been crushing it. I don't know who Finland beat, but Finland beat somebody and Sweden beat somebody. So we do have more shit coming up. World Junior. I didn't really dive too much into it. Just that World Junior. This is the first year, and it's kind of weird because the Americans have a couple Rangers prospects that I think I should be a little bit more dialed in with. I just haven't been like, I think it's because I don't have cable and all the games are on NHL Network. So I have to like stream stuff off my computer. Like I just bought a planner, dude. Like, do you think I'm too lazy to be going on streaming websites? I just can't do that. So
I wish it was covered more here like it is in Canada because it's a great tourney, but
in Canada,
it's all about money.
Cool. It's got to be so cool to do that in Canada. And the Women's World Juniors just started, didn't they?
It's going to start next week.
Okay, because I saw a couple like videos or whatever about that. So
yeah, should be a fun tournament.
When was the last time? Do you guys know off the top of your head? I know that they had it in Buffalo not that long ago. I feel like it takes a while for these games to come back. Like the next time they're in the States and they're anywhere near us, we should definitely go to these games.
So it's in Ottawa in 2 years, and they just announced 2026 is going to be in Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Oh, Brownie.
Dude, I looked into going to Minneapolis, St. Paul when you guys were out there, and it's not an easy get.
No, we were in Duluth, though. That's way tougher. Minneapolis, St. Paul's easy.
Really?
Yeah, it's easy.
Brownie, that could be fucking cool, dude.
Like,
St. Paul, is that the XL Center?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
XL Center, I'm sure they'll probably play like where the Gophers play.
That would be sick.
Men's team. The Gophers building would be sick.
Yeah. Was that Mariucci, I think? And then the women play in Ritter Arena. So,
and I'm pretty sure Clara works for USA Hockey right now. So we kind of have an in to see if we get credentialed.
All right. I just want to hop on the Huskies private jet for the trip. Would be nice.
Little PJ.
Yeah.
All right. So we have dump and change. Let me play the music for that. Good job on the NHL in the news, by the way.
Dump and change. I'm going to get this kid's name wrong. Tyler Kuchner, I think. He confirmed that he's transferring to Notre Dame to play lacrosse. The reason this is a story is that he was the starting quarterback for Alabama and is using his COVID year of eligibility to join the reigning national champs on the lax field. Pretty sick.
Pretty cool.
I'd imagine he does okay at the bars. The first ever Pop-Tarts Bowl took place between NC State and Kansas State, but the mascot was the story. Prior to kickoff, a costume mascot with eyes and a big smile lowered himself into a toaster on the field and came out as a toasted Pop-Tart after plumes of smoke and sparklers shot out the top of the toaster. While toasted Pop-Tarts are delicious, seeing a suicidal mascot on a football bowl game got people talking. And if you guys had to pick a flavor Pop-Tart, would strawberry be your number one?
Blueberry,
right? Frosted blueberry.
S'more.
Oh, s'more.
Those
Nice.
are good too.
Oh,
do we have any type of pyro at Matthews that I can kind of hop out of in the mascot costume?
We got a tunnel. We might have a smoke machine.
Love that.
The tunnel's cool. Tunnel's
I feel
cool.
like there might.
I could like crawl out with the smoke, dude, and then get on the ice.
Listen, I've seen people in that mascot suit that would have been better crawling than skating. So sure,
Yeah,
it'd be fine.
yeah.
I did see. I think it was the Go NU account put up the Pop-Tart with a sign saying like Gwyneth Phillip owns
Yeah, I saw that.
Ingles Arena or something. Is that
You know who that was?
Delaney?
That was your girl.
Was it? Nice.
Big time. Yeah, she was very proud of that one, as she should have been.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
a good
very
one.
funny.
All right. So this one, talk about being claustrophobic in an elevator. Cruise Life, a new Carnival cruise that you can hop on for 9 months and visit 60 countries and over a dozen world wonders, sails out of Miami for 274 days and is broken into 4 legs. The first leg heads to North and South America and includes stop in Brazil, the Caribbean, and Antarctica. The second leg heads to the Pacific with 87 stops in 87 days, including New Zealand, Japan, Australia, China, and India. The third leg heads to the Mediterranean and the Middle East for another 67 days. Stops include Italy, Greece, Egypt, and Turkey. And the last leg sees passengers touring Europe with stops including Sweden, Denmark, and Norway over the last 63 nights of the trip. You can book parts or all of this trip with packages that start, I know this is going to sound crazy, at only $53,000 for the whole thing.
If I had fuck you money, I'd do it.
I don't know if I would do the $53,000 because I'm assuming that's a horrible setup, but it goes up from there. But that wouldn't be a bad thing. Like if you're retired, sell your house, and if you're like, let's say you were moving from somewhere in the Northeast to like Arizona, and your money's going to go way far for your house, you know, you could be like, hey, we'll be there in a year. We're going to do this cruise first.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's just something. So there you have it. That was it for Dump and Change.
All right. New York Rangers talk. The Hartford Wolfpack have signed Artem Anisimov to a professional tryout agreement. This is because Riley Nash ended up getting hurt. They needed to bring back a little bit more scoring. I saw Ryan Callahan tweet at Dubinsky being like, hey, let's get the boys back together, Wolfpack. Loved seeing that. Gabe Perreault, the Rangers' first-round draft pick last season. He has 25 points in 17 games for Boston College. He has 6.5 games so far in World Juniors. He had 2 goals the other day in the quarterfinal matchup. Everybody's saying he's going to be the steal. Mikey Grinelli, he's going to be the steal. He's going to be the steal of the draft. Thanks, dude.
The single reason I don't listen to Spit and Chicklets.
The Rangers become the first team in the NHL to reach the 50-point mark, 51 points for the first time since 93-94. What happened that year? Forget. And then Hedl ended up returning to Czechia for a reset for the next phase of his recovery. They say he's skating and shit. It's still like, it's not a great look. Like if somebody has a concussion and like instead of like, hey, why don't you go like 10 minutes away, he just flies to Europe to go do that.
Because yeah, flying is usually recommended with a concussion.
Yeah, so I don't know. The Rangers got their fucking dicks caved in last night. They lost 6-1 against the Hurricanes, but before that, they beat the Lightning 5-1. They lost the Panthers 4-3, and they beat the Capitals 5-1. In the last 4 games, Panarin 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. Vinny Trocheck 5 points. Lafreniere 4 points. We do have some people still put up decent numbers. Yeah, it's kind of they're going through this weird stretch where like they have such a big lead where they don't need to. They haven't been stringing wins together, but at the same time, their lead was so big, and I just maybe other teams aren't playing as well right now. They're not. The other teams aren't catching up, but they need to kind of figure it out a little bit. It's been a while since we went on a little bit of a winning streak, so we'll see what happens.
For the loss.
What?
Who was in net for the loss?
Igor.
Guess he's the number 2 now, huh?
Oh, I don't have the thing right here, but before that, the 4 games before that, his save percentage was like 940. He was 4-0 with like a 1 point. Like
Quick's like 970.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no goalie controversy, dude. Sorry, our goalies don't make out after every game, dude. My bad, bro.
No, just your leadership group.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's just our third all-time goal scorer in our DJ, dude. My bad, bro.
Hey, that would be a great question if we get our current Rangers on. Like, who's the DJ in the locker room? And if they don't pick Zibanejad, is that a slap to the face to Zibanejad?
I bet it's not. I bet it's not him.
No, because no one wants to listen to that crap.
No, I bet like him and Kreider share earbuds, and they just listen to like Alanis Morissette or like Celine Dion.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I have there. Barkley Gaudreau's still wearing that bubble, so whatever fucking happened to his face,
that piece of jaw that came out that wasn't supposed to come out,
that'll happen. But
yeah,
that's what I have for the Rangers.
All right. Well, the Bruins, after going on a little bit of a skid going into the Christmas break, have come out of it with 4 straight wins. But before that, Swayman, for the second year in a row, dressed up as Santa Claus and delivered gifts to Linus's kids on Christmas Eve. The last 3, this was a weird one. The last 3 Bruins players, defensemen, to score multi-goals in a game, Forbert, Orlov, and Shattenkirk. Like, you would never have been able to get that. You know what I mean? I'm guessing. And the geeky Heinen Shattenkirk signings, who have all been playing phenomenal as of late, the last 4 or 5 games, 3.825 combined. Great.
How does Shattenkirk look? Slow?
Now, all right. So I was going to get to this in the New Jersey part, but Montgomery juggled up the lines. He's got McAvoy playing with Mason Lowry. He's got Carlo with Lindholm, and he's got Grzelcyk and Shattenkirk. And I got to tell you, the Grzelcyk Shattenkirk as the third pair is super, super silky out there because he's be able to match him up with the right guys. And Shattenkirk on power play 2, he's looked great, and he fills in on power play 1 when McAvoy banged his knee with Ullmark, and he looks good. Shattenkirk looks great. I mean, he's not as fast as he used to be, but it's nice because everybody's in their own spots, and they still got Forbert coming back. So
yeah, it's nice to have a second power play option too, right? Especially when
for sure, the second power play scored last night.
Especially when McAvoy gets suspended all the time. It's nice to have.
I knew there was something there. So, all right, I'm going to give you these quick. They won Buffalo. The Bruins played a full 60. There was no Tage Thompson for the Sabres, so take that with a grain of salt. Power play was 3 for 3. PK was 6 for 6. Coyle had 2. Geeky, Lowry, Swayman 25 saves and a 962 save percentage to that. The Buffalo black jerseys, I wrote about this. They're awful. Awful. They look like crap.
Really?
That blue is so iconic. The blue and gold is the best jersey. Why would you change it up?
I don't know, man. I feel like growing up, Dominic Hasek in the black and red was sick.
It doesn't. But you could put that big Buffalo head on the blue. It would still look good.
Yeah.
For a third jersey. And this was something I meant to say this when we were talking about the PWHL. So at one point, the Bruins it was a 4-on-4. The Bruins got a penalty. It went to 4-on-3. They then got another penalty. I would like to see the NHL go to 4-on-2, 4-on-1, and just keep putting the guys in the box. I think that would be fun to see. Try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 penalties. It's just 5 dudes out there just whipping the puck around.
They played the Devils. They won 5-2. Georgi Merkulov made his debut, a little over 15 minutes ice time. He didn't put up any points, but he stood out with his speed and his skating. Really strong.
He got laid out the other night, right?
What's that?
This is the kid who got laid out the other night?
Yeah. He's really excellent skater. You could see the game, the physicality, I think, caught him a little bit. Like, whoa. But I thought he did okay. And then DeBrusque Pasta with 2, Shattenkirk had 2. They were down 2-0, came back to score 4 in the second, winning 5-2. I will say this: New Jersey's not ready for the playoffs because after the first period, the Bruins started going hard on the forecheck, and New Jersey fell apart, just fell to pieces. If Luke Hughes can't skate it end to end, they did not know what to do. Icing.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, it's a shame. They then went to Detroit, where Merkulov got stapled to the bench in the third. He had less than 9 minutes in ice time. The Bruins were very slow on the back-to-back, but once it got chippy, the Bruins got really engaged. Frederick had 2. Coyle had 1. DeBrusque and Zacha both had empty netters. And I will say this about Freddie. He was on ice for both of those empty netters, and he had the chance on both of them to, get the cheap tap before it went in for the hat trick, and he didn't do it. I think that speaks to the kid's integrity.
That would have went fucking bar down.
Yeah, of course it would. Swayman, that was a tough one. He let in 3, 900 save percentage. And then last night at Columbus, Shattenkirk, Jane Van Riemsdyk, Heinen, and Frederick all scored. Freddie has 10 goals on the year. His career high is 17. He still has 46 games to go. The Bruins were perfect on the PK yet again. They were outshot 12-5 in the first. Ullmark made the difference with 26 saves, 963 last night. 4 straight for the Bees.
And this all won't matter when Montgomery puts Ullmark in the playoffs for all the games.
I don't know. They're doing the alternates, so maybe he'll just keep on that.
I also
Oh.
put this stat in there for you, dude. The Bruins
saw
improved to 32-9-4 on the road in 2023, surpassed the 2013 Blackhawks 31-9-4 for the most regular season road wins in calendar year. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you got to win on the road, right? Especially in the
Mhm.
playoffs. So yeah.
Road warrior teams are sick, dude.
Yeah.
I'm always
yeah.
back that.
Yeah.
All right, Northeastern talk. Well, thank God we got Carp here, dude. So let's hop right into it. You guys take it away. I'm gonna have questions.
You want me to give the summation, and then you can expand?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm here for it.
So the Huskies, I didn't know. I thought you were serious. So the Huskies came back from their break last night at Yale. It was an overtime 2-1 win. Constantinople with the power play goal to tie it up. Katie
That's
Knoll,
a sick hockey last name, by the way.
she wired that shot too. That
Yeah.
was like a boomer. Katie Knoll with the overtime game winner, which made the Sports Center top 5. Was it number 4? I
That's
think.
number 4, yeah.
Jovicic's back in the lineup, laying the boom out
That
there.
was number 4. What if follow like fucking 3 dunks, dude? Like
Yeah,
how was that?
probably.
Yeah,
Not
one of them was definitely a dunk.
stupid?
It drives
And
me bananas.
Gwyneth Phillips had 46 saves, and in my opinion, was the number 1 and the number 2 star because
Yeah.
she kept the team in this, and that was her best, in my opinion, from watching. I don't have the insight that you do, Carp, but I thought that was her best game of the year, and she was 4 saves away from her career high. She
Yeah.
loves playing at Ingles, huh?
Yeah, thank God, especially yesterday, right? But no, she's the type of. I mean, she's very very consistent goaltender, but the more action she gets, the more engaged she is, and the better she is. So it was all part of the game plan. Give up 40, 45.
How bad did Ella Blackmore feel when Brazos' goal got wiped off?
I mean, she's such an amazing kid, so I'm sure she felt bad, but it kind of is what it is. Like if you see a puck floating,
Yeah.
kind of like Ked, if there's a empty net opportunity, he's not letting that. He's skating very very hard
That's
to try.
the hardest I've skated all game. Yup.
Yeah,
I will say though, I would like the officials to have the capacity to be like, "Hey, Blackmore got a hand on it,
Yeah.
but that puck was going no matter what she did. The only way it wouldn't have gone in if she had swatted it out."
Yeah.
So they should have awarded the goal anyways because she didn't really affect the trajectory of the puck. I understand it's black and white, but
I mean, I didn't see an overhead. I knew she definitely got a piece of it. The thing I was hoping for was that it had already crossed the line before she hit it.
yeah, it was close.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
It's not as bad as that bullshit call against Ohio State last year in the playoffs. Wasn't it Ohio State? I fucking remember that. Do you remember
Yeah.
that,
Oh,
Brownie?
Chloe. Yeah, Chloe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Bullshit,
was a,
dude. I don't forget.
yeah, that was a tough one.
That one was bad. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
it was unfortunate because they worked so hard. That line was fighting the whole game. They were
yeah, that
really
line
jamming. Yeah.
they were dynamite. They were honestly, they were probably our second best line that game. Like they were creating a lot of really quality scoring opportunities, and Yale, their coaching staff's unbelievable. I've known Mark and Grant for a long time. I don't know Erica very well, but from my brief conversations with her, she seems like a pretty unbelievable kid. But Mark, he coached at Norwich when I was at Elmira, so I've seen what he can do, and like he's got a few national championships under his belt, and Grant's just an unbelievable recruiter and really good coach as well. So
That's the head coach, right?
Mark's the head coach, and then Grant is the one of the assistant coaches. But like they're just so tough defensively, and they did such a good job keeping us on the perimeter. And I know the shots were what they were, but every single opportunity they had to get a puck to the net, they were doing it, and they just swarmed the front of the net. Like they're similar to us, where they lost a lot of really talented players from graduation last year, and we're kind of in the same boat where we're scoring goals sometimes, but it's not on a consistent basis, right? So I thought the matchup was really good, and we were fortunate to come out of there with a win against a really good team. So I'll take it.
I remember him from last year when we were down there for I don't know what that game was called, the play-in game or whatever it was called. Quarterfinals.
Yeah.
He was the most open and honest coach outside of you guys that I was ever in one of those scrums for.
Yeah.
He was so like, hey, they beat us. Hats off to them. It wasn't like no excuses, no BS. I really appreciated the way he approaches it. He seems like a real good guy.
Yeah, unbelievable guy.
And you guys shut down what's her name? How do you say it? Hartley?
Yeah, she's good.
She's filthy. She got like
holy smokes.
She's over a point a game for her career.
Yeah.
And the best bid she had was when Abby Marone bodied her one-on-one. Abby just bodied her to the side.
Yeah.
Took the puck and outlet up the other way.
The craziest part about that, I don't know if you noticed, but she basically no-looked that, right? Like she was looking on the back diagonal the whole time. So I think she was trying to bait Abby into maybe taking a look or taking a step. And then when she pulled that puck, I was like, uh-oh. And then Abby made a really good play off of that. But
that was a good play.
Her deception is it's incredible, right? Like she's got pretty good speed, she's got good skill, but what separates her from so many players is just how deceptive she is and how she's able to manipulate other teams' players. She's an impressive player. It's scary.
No slouch at the dot either. She was dominant at the faceoff. And shout out to Irving, the mayor of Kingston herself, there on the overtime goal. Irving lost the faceoff at like a battle, and then Irving chased it down in the Yale zone. 1-on-2 and bullied the two defenders and got the puck and hit Katie coming into the zone and stride. It was a great play by Irving.
Yeah.
I mean, great finish by Katie, not to take anything away from it.
She's our overtime. She's our OT stud, Irving.
Well, her OT stud cost us another hour of Riley awake because we were watching. And when Katie scored, she jumped up and she was like dancing around. I'm like, oh, I guess she's not going to bed now.
I'm an Irving fan. Irving is a big fan of the Instagram, the morning skate Instagram.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah,
right. She's unbelievable. She's all in on the morning skate, from what I've heard.
Where did you guys get pizza from?
We a few of them got pizza for their post game.
Oh, nice.
I think it was called Lorenzo's.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I never knew about the pizza down there, right?
It's huge.
How great it is until I went down there and I was talking to people in the press box when we were down there last year because I was sitting on the Yale side all by myself like a loser. I was waving a Todd across the rink. But I was asking, everybody's telling me these different pizza places. So I roll in like, hey, no big deal. I'm just going to go get a pie, right?
Yeah.
I pull up and there's like 100 people in line.
Where'd you go?
Each of these places. I went to the three that are real close together. I don't remember what they're called.
Huh.
I know I went to Frank Pepe's.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
And then a couple around there. And it was crazy. I couldn't get a pizza. We ended up getting it at a later date. But I did find out that back in the original days of Frank Pepe, like when he first opened the place, my grandfather had a chicken farm down there,
of course,
and sold eggs to the original Frank Pepe.
Really?
Yeah, I found that out.
For his dough?
Yeah.
So you're like a foundation. Your family's like a foundation family.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're a builder, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. I should go on the Pizza Hall of Fame as a builder.
Oh, hey guys! 2 hours ago, the TD Garden started following our Instagram. Is that good?
That is good.
Seriously?
That's sick.
Cool, dude.
Wow.
Shout out to follow back.
About North, follow back. About North.
I'm not gonna play too hard to get there.
You're gonna have to probably drop the beginning of the podcast sponsor if you're gonna want to keep them following.
Hey, listen, we will dump that Pornhub sponsor if TD Garden wants to get on board. Just let us know.
I'll just start another podcast for that Pornhub sponsor.
Oh my God.
Speaking of the TD Garden, Kelly Dyer Hayes podcast is out now. She was a wonderful guest and is very involved with the Beanpot and hashtag Boston Unites. They're trying to fill the rink for the women's Beanpot. So
she's unbelievable.
She's awesome.
She's unbelievable.
So you guys go up to Maine on Friday?
No, we got Holy Cross Friday.
Wait, did I look at the schedule completely wrong? I must have.
No, you're just a week off. It's all right. Yeah, we got.
It sounds like you need a planner, Brownie.
Yeah.
We got practice tomorrow, just a light pregame skate, and then we'll go down to Holy Cross on Friday. Only game of the weekend, and then 4 practices, and then Friday, Saturday at Maine. We'll go up there.
You're at Holy Cross on Friday?
I think so. I don't know.
All right,
it feels right.
I might. That's an easier ride for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The Crusaders.
Yeah, at Holy Cross, 6 p.m.
Nice.
So that'll be a good game. We've split with them so far, so But we're on a nice little run, so hopefully we can keep the momentum going a bit here.
Nice. So look out for these podcasts and tell Phillips she's in the crosshairs.
I will.
We want Phillips on next.
Well,
I have bad track record with goalies, but we're going to try it again.
Oh my God.
Oh, Brownie. Beer League Roundup. I don't think we have Beer League Roundup this week.
No, I
correct?
still am not cleared to play.
I think I'm playing on Tuesday next week, so hopefully we'll have some Beer League to talk about. How grossly out of shape I am. Heroes and Zeros time. Let's do it. All right, Heroes and Zeros time. I'm going to start with my hero, Sam Girard. Said he feels like he got the help that he needed. He expected that. He also expects tomorrow to be just like a regular game for him. This is back when he came back from this stuff. I just think it's cool that, mental health, there's still that stigma or whatever. Pretty brave to come out and just be like, hey, listen, I need a second away from the game for a bit. Goes, gets help, comes back. I just feel like that needed to be highlighted. So that would be my hero of the week.
Well, my hero is similar, but not mentally. My hero of the week is 38-year-old Joe Flacco, who turns 39 next week. Came off the couch at Thanksgiving and has led the Cleveland Browns into the playoffs. He was asked today about the disparity of the age gap in the locker room and how he handles it. And his quote, which is what spurred me to make him my hero, he goes, "If I messed up in high school, I could be some of these kids' dad," which I thought was awesome because he made it multiple. So shout out Joe Flacco.
Delaware Blue Hen, dude.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
So
if he went to, they're talking about resting him, right? If he wins a Super Bowl with the Browns, right? The forever downtrodden Browns, would he be remembered as an all-time Raven or Brown?
Brown.
No, he won a Super Bowl with the Ravens.
Yeah, but dude, has the Browns ever won a Super Bowl?
Oh, dude, he's already I think he's in the top 30. He's played 6 games and he's in the top 30 all-time passing for the Browns.
It'd be pretty fucking. I feel like it'd be kind of like Joe Namath with the Jets. Like,
oh yeah, you could say that. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like everybody remembers Broadway Joe, but like he really only won 1 Super Bowl. Like it'd be kind of the same thing.
Fair.
I think everybody outside of the state of Ohio would consider him a Raven.
You think?
Yeah, that's probably right. But Ohio, he would be Ohio's boy.
He'd be a god in Ohio.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Rangers, and I forgot to tell you this, if you Kelly Dyer Hayes, she was like Mark Messier's personal contact for Louisville. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a connection, Brownie.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to listen. She's got TD Garden falling on.
We got the TD fucking Garden, dude. Get mess on the pod, bro.
So when I asked her who her most famous person in her phone for the lightning round, she goes, "Well, I should probably say Mark." But she named his wife. I forget what his wife's name. She's like, I have his wife's number too, and she's pretty famous. And then there's Wayne, and I'm like, Gretzky?
Yeah. She's like, no, Newton.
So yeah, she's like boys with Mark Messier. And I told her, and she was talking about how her and Richter used to hang out all the time because they were goalies and they would talk.
Like Richter would be a cool podcast. He's a very, very bright person. Like he got into like politics, I think, after.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. He's running for Connecticut or something.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, she's boys with Mark Messier. But go ahead, Carp. Sorry, go ahead with your hero.
Cool.
I would say Kendall Coyne because of the amount of work that she put in to this PWHL that started this week. Like she was one of the driving forces behind it, doing so much behind the scenes work. And obviously there was a team, but she was doing most of this stuff while she was pregnant too, which is the most insane thing in the world. So
didn't she walk away from an NHL job to go play?
I mean, she was working with the Blackhawks as a skills coach for a while.
Yeah. I read something about it, and they talked about her, like when I was watching the opening thing with Toronto, they had Billie Jean King on an interview, and because she's one of the driving forces, and she was like, Kendall Coyne Schofield came to us and was like, we need to make this work, and she gave her like all credit. So shout out to her. Yeah, she's unbelievable, and it's no surprise that she was one of the people to get this thing off the ground. And so far they're crushing it. So I'm excited for tonight. We get to watch her play. Yeah, that's right.
She gave birth.
Yeah.
So it's going to be cool.
I would bet anything she has a planner.
Oh, 100%.
She probably has a calendar on her phone, like most people.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I bet she's a planner. I bet she has to write stuff down. I
Oh.
mean, think that's so much work. And shout out to these guys for finally getting it right. Like, how many leagues did we have to go through before we finally got like a legit rink to play in, and like fans and like cool social media and TSN and like they're finally doing it right. And now you're seeing it, and you're seeing people excited about it.
Yeah, we're stoked to go tonight. Songus is sold out.
I think it wasn't. I was never like against women's hockey, but it was always kind of like, okay, what are they going to do now? But this is the first time where I'm like seeing this stuff. I'm like, holy shit! Like this is legit. Like this is actually going to help grow the game. This is going to get girls being like, oh, I want to play hockey. I want to play in the PWHL someday. Like that is so fucking cool. And I think it's just like Olympics, right? Like you just want to represent your country, but now it's like, holy fuck! Now we got a league to play in.
Yeah. Hey, Carp, do you know this? Like, so they have their rosters, and then everyone that graduates from college coming up next year, are they going to expand the rosters? Is that the plan? Or are they looking to make another team? How is that going to be handled?
So right now they have a full roster plus I think it's like 3 reserve players.
Yeah.
I don't know the full logistics of the reserve players, but I know that they can play a maximum of 2 games, and they have to fulfill some sort of practice quota every week. But I think they have to move to that town. Yeah, which is it's tough because I know they're not getting paid as much as the salary players, right? So I don't know what the plan is for next year. I think
I feel like they're just trying to get up and running, and I understand that. Yeah, I was just curious how that would work because there's no like you can't go to the AHL.
Yeah,
you know, as a rookie. So I was just wondering how they're gonna continue to add talent.
Yeah, I think honestly the problem with the pro game for the last few years was that there was 2 leagues. So, you know, each league was a little bit more watered down than it needed to be, you know? So I think you're going to have your high draft picks coming in next year. I don't know what their draft protocol is going to be this coming season, because it's obviously going to be different than this year, but you know, just like pro hockey, if you don't perform year 1, you're going to bring someone in that can. And you know, I think it's different from what was the case before. But I think if you want to get people interested, you got to have the best players on the ice, you know, and if you're not one of the best players in the game, then it's no discredit to you. You shouldn't be playing pro hockey, you know?
There's always Europe and
yeah, exactly. You know, and there's plenty of different opportunities to play over in Europe, like you said. And, but they're finally the reason that it's so good this year is because all the best players are in one league.
Right.
Yeah. So
I have a weird kind of a fun question. The coaches of this league, are they all former like college coaches, international coaches?
It's a mix, right?
Yeah, it's a mix. So Boston has Courtney Burchard, who was at BU just for a little bit. But before that, she was at Princeton for a few years. She's unbelievable. She's a great coach. I think it's Toronto.
Toronto's like Team Canada.
Yeah, Troy Ryan. So he was the women's national team head coach, but he was also an assistant on the men's world's team this year, I think. Or no, something with the men last year, which is pretty awesome. In New York, Howie Draper, he was a long-time Alberta in Canada U Sports, Alberta University.
That's such a New York hockey coach name.
Yeah, Howie Draper.
When we announced those, you said that exact thing. When we were like, Howie Draper's the coach, you're like, that's such a New York hockey coach name.
Yeah. And then the Montreal coach is the Czech women's coach. She's from Canada. Who am I missing? Minnesota. They just hired Ken Klee, who was with the U.S. women's national team a while ago. And from what I don't know him personally, but from what I've heard about him, everybody loves him. Cool. So it's great that they got him in there. And then I'm missing one. Who am I missing? Ottawa. I don't really know Ottawa very well.
Yeah.
Game 1 looks like they got it rolling pretty good over there. So
yeah, they did all right. Yeah.
That's Ottawa. I don't really know.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how Ottawa is in the NHL too.
Yeah, they're on brand. That's classic.
Hit us with these.
I have an update. I have another hero.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you guys follow Barstool at all? Do you guys know who Jersey Jerry is?
Yeah.
So he's been doing like these live things every night where it's like, I forget what it's called, but essentially every night he does like a competition, people tune in, whatever it is. So for this one, he has to hit a hole-in-one in a golf simulator. He's been streaming this for the last 17 hours. They had to have someone come in and give him an IV. He's hit 1,911 shots, and this dude's still just gripped it and Jersey Jerry. Dude, that's unbelievable.
His hands must be torched.
Just
like Andy Bernard.
Shoulders. Yeah.
Ugh.
So fucking funny. And then my zero of the week, his name's not Morgan Geeky because I think Morgan Geeky's in the NHL, but the last name's Geeky. Played for Team Canada and World Juniors. He got 5 in a game, 11 seconds in for one of the
Connor
cleanest.
is the younger brother of Morgan, who's on the Bruins.
Yeah, one of the cleanest hits I've ever seen in my life. Got 5 in a game, kicked out of the game.
Why is he your zero?
Because he's not the zero. The refs who kicked him out of the game, like, are you kidding me?
Gotcha.
The hit was like everything that you wanted.
It was a great hit,
and you're kicking him out of the game. So
did you see what his older brother said? Once it came out that he was booted, his older brother, who's on the Bruins, tweeted out, "I didn't know strong body. What do you say? I didn't know hitting too hard was illegal in international play."
Dude, insane.
Yeah. It was crazy. It was a horrible call. But they had a lot of back and forth, and I think I don't remember, there was something the previous game, and it was like a little bit of a payback. I think that's why they wanted, but they should have just given him a penalty. But
the refs must all be from the queue, dude. That's the only thing.
All right. My zero's me. I told Ked while we were waiting for Carp, we had a leak in the basement before the holidays that was beyond my capabilities to fix. Old piping needed to come out. New piping needed to be put in, needed to be crimped. My buddy came over and did it. Shout out Keith. Thank you. Took him like 6 minutes. He probably charged someone like $500 for that call. But last night we were home after the holiday and my wife came downstairs. She's doing laundry and she's like, the washing machine's not feeding. And I'm like, what? She's like, no water. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go downstairs. I am tracing all these lines, trying to figure it out. Hot water, cold water, following them all the way back. Every valve's open. Everything's on. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I just must spend 15 or 20 minutes down here. I'm like, I need to figure this out. I don't want to call Keith. My wife comes downstairs. I go, do you want to just come look with me and I'll show you the pipes and you can tell me if I'm missing anything? She's like, all right. So we're like, she's like, no, that's, yep. I see everything. She walks over to the washing machine. She goes, oh, the washing machine's unplugged. So shout out me for not seeing that. And thank God I didn't call him, but I did call him and say, hey, I have a Christmas gift for you. I almost called you to come over here to help me with this. So I'd be my own zero.
You mentioned pipes. I'm just going to bring this up. I started listening to this podcast, Protect Our Parks. It's with Joe Rogan, Shane Gillis, Mark Norman, and Ari Shafir. And you brought up pipes. I thought lead pipes, and this is something that they said. I don't know if you guys know this. So leaded fuel, it became illegal in the United States in 1996. Did you know that people born in the 1960s and 1970s, when leaded gas consumption was skyrocketing, the IQ is estimated to be up to 6 points for some and more than 7 points, their IQ would drop because of the lead in cars and all this shit. So
from burning the lead gas, but that was also before catalytic converters also.
But it's crazy. But so during this time, it said that 824 million IQ points were dropped because of leaded gas.
Hey, Carp, I don't know if you ever saw online, there was this guy who was stealing catalytic converters all over the Rust Belt. It's fucking Ked. Like they are
like me, dude. Exactly like me. And every fucking year, dude, probably around October, the picture pops up again and people are like, Ked, you're hurting that bad. I'll send you a picture. It's insane.
I'd love to see that picture.
It looks just like him. Just like him. I was like, I can't, like, I know it's not you, but I think it's you.
Oh,
Carp, it's to the point, like, when the first time it happened, I had to start thinking of alibis because, like, I kept thinking, like, did I fucking do this? Like, this is wild.
I'm not sure I could find a catalytic converter on a car, but I may have blacked out. And
that's what my mom said. She's like, well, if they come ask you about it, just be like, yeah, prove it. I know where that is, dude.
Oh, my God.
All right, Carp, who's your zero, buddy?
I got two, and they're both actually refs.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
Get them all out now.
I love refs too, so it's a shocking.
Don't be backpedaling, dude. Get them.
No, it's just these two. I'm not a fan of. I don't know if you guys saw the Sweden Swiss World Junior game.
Yeah, the fucking like slash thing. That was insane.
Yeah, in an elimination overtime game.
Insane.
That little poke and then Sweden goes and scores on the power play.
Talk about like wanting to get like your name in the game.
That's
Oh
brutal.
my God. I couldn't believe it when I saw it, because I knew they won. I mean, obviously, with Alina being from Switzerland, I tend to lean towards Switzerland a little bit and stuff now because it's fun. And when I saw that penalty, I didn't see the penalty happen in real time. Then I saw it on social media or something after, and I couldn't believe it. And an elimination game.
Yeah, it's horrible.
In overtime. So there's that. And then the officiating staff from the Dallas-Detroit game.
Oh, the Detroit game, the football game. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't believe that.
I saw something about like a lineman checking in or something like that.
So you have to report eligible, and they did, and they were like, "Oh, the wrong guy did it." But they
there's
walked
video.
up. Yeah, you see it.
And then there's video of Jared Goff talking to the lineman. Hey, go check yourself in as an eligible receiver. So the guy goes out, gets the 2-point conversion for the win, and then they could have clinched the division or something.
Yeah.
Or no, they could have clinched first round bye.
Yep.
And then the ref called it back. But
shout out to the head coach of the Lions for not kicking the extra point, going for 2 to win, not tie. Shout out Dan Campbell.
He's awesome, dude. They had him on Hard Knocks. He just seems like a dude you'd want to play for.
Oh, 100%. He's the torch of the NFL, you could say.
You know what? Him and
he seems nicer.
I know it's a small sample size, but the Raider head coach, the interim head coach.
Oh,
you seen that guy? Holy crap.
Antonio Pierce. Yeah.
Oh my God. Every time
he's playing with me at quarterback practically. So,
So yeah, those are my zeros.
There. Those are good ones.
Those are good zeros. All right, we have one more. We have 3 stars. All right, Brian, take it away.
So we decided to do our favorite Christmas memories. Seemed like a no-brainer with the holidays. We'll do resolutions next week, see if we stuck to them, the ones we had in our heads.
See if I lost my planner by then.
Yeah, God help us if you lose your planner. So yeah, favorite Christmas memories. You want to just go right around the room? Want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
So my first one's an easy one. Every year, and Carp, you can relate to this. Every year when you have kids, the Christmas is better than the next, or the previous, I mean. And like first couple of years when they're 1 and 2, they don't get it. 3, 4, they start to get it. Now she's 7. And it's just awesome with unwrapping gifts and, just like the stupidest stuff. Like she likes San Pellegrino, right? Because I drink it. So, yeah, I know. So I was in the store and I saw like the little 6-packs of the cans. So I wrapped up that. But even that, she's happy to unwrap, And it's just the sheer joy of, as long as you don't get her clothes, she's down for every gift. So it's just fun.
That's a good one, but better than like Bud Heavies, right, dude? That'd been
not yet.
Yeah, I think it's messed up that she doesn't love Key sparkling water.
Yeah, well, they haven't sent me any gear yet, so we'll find out when they send it.
Order, dude, 20% off your first order.
Send me a case, and I'll swap out one of her Pellegrinos.
They're good, dude. They are pretty good.
I'll take your word for it for now. Carp, you.
Me? Yeah. Are you doing 3 or did you just do 1?
I did 3.
You did 3? Oh,
yeah, that's number 3.
Fair enough. All right. I think my number 3 is the year that I got my Easton aluminum Gretzky bubble.
Oh.
Or my
how many people's answer is that in life?
From my era, probably a lot. This is the best stick ever, and the only stick that after like a couple months of use looked like a friggin' bow. But that thing was the best. I'll never forget. It was blue and gold, and I had like an Easton wood blade insert. Worst knob you've ever seen on it. But yeah, I still probably have it. I bet it's at my parents' house.
Hey, speaking of knobs and tape jobs, look up this kid Connor Geeky that we were talking about before.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
His knobs atrocious, his tape jobs nuts, and he has this thing where after his warm-ups, I think it was on our social media, where he takes 3 pucks, stands there till there's 1 minute left, shoots the 3 pucks, skates to the bench, walks backwards down the bench, and then forwards down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Not all there, but I respect it.
Whatever works.
Yeah, I mean that's good third star. I'm gonna pivot my third star. I'm changing it on the fly. My first composite stick I ever got, and this is gonna really just tell you what type of hockey player I was. I got the M1 Mission Blue stick. So yeah, I didn't score a lot of goals, but I remember my first composite stick being like, "This is sick," and it wasn't even brand new. My dad bought it from somebody else whose kid didn't want it, but it was my first ever composite stick, dude, and that was pretty sick. So that'd be my third star.
Was that 2 piece or 1 piece?
1 piece. Thing was like fucking 80 pounds. Yep.
My number 2, when I lived down the Keys, we had at my friend Ria's house. She hosted every year. We had an orphan's Christmas. So, because no one went home. So it was every like random person that didn't have family all got together, bartenders, waitresses, bouncers. And we had like 30, 40 people at her big house that she was a nanny at. And the guy was never there. And she'd have us all over and we'd have a big rager for Christmas. It was a good time.
Christmas parties are the best, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My number 2 is actually, it's my all-time favorite gift I ever received. It's the most unforgettable Christmas, probably when I was like 9 or 8 or something like that. N64 with GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, yeah.
Recon Racing.
Yeah, GoldenEye was legendary, dude. GoldenEye was Call of Duty before Call of Duty was Call of Duty, dude.
I think I sat in my living room when I was a kid for probably about 3 straight days playing GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And I won't forget it because it was like the first time where I was not necessarily old enough to be independent, but my parents were like, just go for it. And I went for it.
That was probably their best Christmas too.
Oh, yeah.
The next 3 days.
They cook? No, I'm good.
He hasn't eaten in 3 days. He's fine.
He's
fine.
He's good
He's
to
got
go.
to cut weight anyway. He's got 4 trials coming up. So
that's a good one. My second one, Rangers playoff tickets. We knew they were going to make it. Never been to a playoff game. Me and my dad went to Rangers Penguins. So it wasn't like on Christmas, but that was the best. That was probably the top 3 day of my life was going there with him. So that would be my number 2. First playoff game was fucking
That's awesome.
sick. Yeah.
So my number 1 is a multi-part because it all involves this one family that I'm still friends with them all. They grew up across the street. They used to have us over every Christmas. And that was one of the things. Every year we'd go over there. The mom would save ornaments for us all to hang. We go over there to decorate the tree. We go over there. And as it progressed, as we got older, it became a bigger party as everybody had kids and everything. She made this thing, an icebox cake, which her son has the recipe. He told me he'd give it to me. I talked to him last week. They're no longer with us, the parents, but the cake was this like green icebox cake. It looked like a giant like Thin Mint. I don't know how to describe it. So good. It's so iconic. And then the last one, the dad was always on me and just like busting, right? And because I'm the oldest of my family and my buddy is the youngest of his family. So it was like 9 kids all in a row, basically. And so when I was like in my, high school, and you start bringing girls over for Christmas, he remembered one name. And no matter what girl I brought, he would say that name to the other, like, Jill, so nice to see you again. And there was a time where I had a girlfriend for like 4 years and she came over 4 Christmases in a row and she knew Jill and fucking hated her. He would hug her. Tina was her name. He would hug Tina, give her a big hug, and over her shoulder, he'd be like, "It's so great to see you, Jill," and give me the biggest shit-eating grin. And that is one of my favorite memories of Christmas because it was like, "Oh, you fucked me," but that was a good one. So yeah,
kind of like LL Bean Jill stuff.
Yeah, it was so good. Yeah, so good. I'm gonna have to call his grandson and who used to work for me and be like, "Hey, you're gonna want to listen to this week's podcast." So shout out to the Luz family.
Oh, that's funny. Mine's actually this past Christmas. This is the first Christmas that my kids were in our house on Christmas morning because we usually go down to the in-laws. So I know it's a very short, it's very, very close by memory, but this is going to be one that lasts for a while for sure.
How old are they now?
1 and 3.
Oh yeah, this is when it starts getting fun with the 3.
Oh yeah, she was tearing through presents. But this year was weird because we had 3 Christmases. So we had one with the in-laws, one with us, and then one with my family. By the third one, my daughter, she like didn't want to open up any more presents because there was so much going on around her.
So it's Riley's the only kid, right? At my in-laws, the only grandkid.
Yeah.
And I had like over 25 wrap things for her, and so did my father-in-law. Yeah. It was insane. We had to take a break because she was getting tired. And like we ate breakfast and came back, and then my father-in-law had to take a nap midway through. It took us like I think 5 hours to open up presents. It was crazy.
Tough problem to have, Riley.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right. Oh God, you gotta take a nap. Oh no.
Halftime.
My number one, my first ever jersey I got was a Florida Panther jersey, and I remember we had snow on the ground that day, and it was like super icy, and like I don't live by any body of water, but it was so icy in the driveway you could literally skate on the driveway, and I would just go out and I ripped. I thought I was, dude. You remember being a kid just like skating around and like literally using your imagination and being like, I'm in game fucking 7 right now. And I must
mean when you're a kid, that's me every warm ups.
Yeah, dude, like 5 or 6 hours just like jumping into snowbanks and like getting back up. And like I thought the ice was sick, but like looking back at it, it was probably so fucking bad. And my skates were probably so torn up, but like they just let me do it. And I'd be outside just ripping it up. So that was definitely my number one. That's probably my earliest memory.
Mellenby jersey?
No last name. It should have been a
nice.
Mellenby jersey, but it was fucking cool, dude. Back in
That's
the day.
awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah, guys, so that's kind of what we had for our podcast. Brownie's gonna be pumped because that's an hour and 41 minutes, and he does like these long ones.
Before we go though, we gave shine to Brazos and Blackmore. We should mention Mia Langlois. Langlois, is that how you say it?
Langlois, yeah.
As the third member of that line. The nail gun line. They were excellent yesterday, and I didn't want to pass on giving a nod to Mia, especially if I see her later tonight. She'd be like, "What the hell, man?"
Whole squad's going.
Yeah, I heard. I mentioned it like celebrity guest appearance.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Dude, we're sitting in the most ridiculous seats. There was nothing left, and it's the Promenade, I think it's called.
There are no bad seats in this.
No, I know, but we're sitting there, and all he's talking about, he's like, "Oh, the concessions are right behind us, and the drinks." And I'm like, "Oh God, dude." He's not going to
watch. This place is unbelievable.
He's not going to watch any of the game, most likely, and he's going to be asking me a million freaking questions.
He hasn't eaten in like 3 days. Just
yeah. I'm not. No dinner for me.
Yeah,
we're going to the game. Brownie's driving.
Well, Carp, thanks for hopping on with us, dude. We got to get this main game finalized, get that in the planner on the books.
I was just looking. If you want to get in more with the Rangers prospects, BC men's hockey, they're playing in the Beanpot the following Tuesday.
Okay.
But you could also watch them play the day before because they'll have like Leonard and Smith and
a February game you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Ked, multi-day stay.
Something to think
sweet.
about,
Yeah, better have to hit the slopes there or start working out to fit in that.
Guys, I got to see if I'm available. I got to check those days, but
check your planner.
Just check your planner.
I got to check the planner. So.
Yeah, I like that.
But we hope everybody had a good Christmas. Happy New Year. Go Huskies. Brownie, anything else?
Listen, I just want to wish Jerome McGinley Happy New Year. I hope he's doing good. His resolution should be to come on the podcast, but I don't want to put words in his mouth. We could just hang out, have a beer, whatever he wants to do.
All right. Well, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we're going to have a lot of podcasts this month. Johnny Lazarus is going to come on, talk Rangers. Tim Peel's going to end up coming on. We're going to have a pretty cool podcast with him. So stay tuned on that. And Key Sparkling Water.
Questions.
Key Sparkling Water, 20% TMS 24. Check them out. Presenting sponsor. Carp, thank you. Brownie.
I heard they're good, but I don't have any gear, so I can't verify.
Well, we will talk to you guys next week. Thank you guys for tuning in.